We communicate every day. But how often do you take a moment to check in on your communication? I know for years I never did anything to look at, apart from the fact that I was scared of speaking. I did nothing to work out, was I a good communicator? What's my communication style? I wasn't even caring that you all have a communication style. I didn't do anything to just take a moment to reflect on my communication. I have found that by taking that moment to check in and look at how do I communicate and understanding that, it actually helps me to be a more mindful and effective communicator. It also opens my eyes to being aware of other people's communication style. So there's a lot to be said about communication. And when I reflect, I look at, am I a supportive communicator? Am I an analytical communicator? Am I an initiating communicator? Am I a direct communicator? And when I look at these 4 types of communication, some of them really resonate with me and others not so. And that's the beauty of taking a moment to really look at your communication style. So recently I had a look at my communication style again as part of Kayleen checking in on who she is this year and knowing what I'm all about. And what I notice is I'm really comfortable in a really relaxed forum. I really like that conversational style of communication, and I get a lot out of listening and being the supporter for other people. I've had lots of feedback over the years about my non-verbal communication when I'm sitting in an audience. People compliment me because I smile. But that is important, and it's part of me, and it's me being supportive of the other person. Recently, somebody said to me that I was like their private cheerleader, and that really touched my heart, because speaking and communication has been so hard for me, and when I can make somebody feel better and giving them that little bit of energy, that just means the world to me. So being a supportive communicator is something that's really important in my life, and I think that's why I ended up being a coach, because it just really fits with who I am as a communicator. There's also analytical, and I am a little bit analytical, sometimes not, but I do like to help with problem solving, and that's one of the key aspects of if you're an analytical speaker, is being able to problem solve, look at the facts and figure, get the information. And what I've noticed is I'm more analytical when I have to make a decision. When I have to make a decision, especially about myself or my life, or I'm making a decision in helping somebody, I do want to know more facts and information before I'm prepared to make that decision. So there is an element of me that does connect with being analytical. Then I look at initiating. Initiating communication, the best way for me to describe it is who enjoyed the networking break that we just had here? Yeah? You will have a part of you that likes initiating communication, because that's the social element, and that's connecting with people and being able to talk to people and having that personal social interaction. It's a social focus in your communication. That really is something that I struggle with. I struggle with networking situations. When I worked in the public service, I would avoid morning teas because I always made sure I was busy because I'm just not comfortable. So having an awareness of that, when I organise workshops, I have to be conscious that I include a morning tea or an activity so people can do that interaction. But it's not comfortable for me, so I have to think about doing it. So that's where having this awareness of what my strengths are and where they are not is really helpful, because if you're aware of it, you can actually do something about it. Then we have direct communication. And in the public service, this is probably where I was most tested early on when I was a new team leader. And that was having to give performance feedback that might not have been too complimentary to people. And because it's not one of my strengths, something I'm not really comfortable about, what I would do was plan and prepare. So I would practice what my questions would be or what my answers were going to be. I'd be really clear on what I was going to say. So knowing that it's something I'm not comfortable about, I now do some extra work so that I can be effective in that situation and people don't know. So unpacking and checking in and having a look at what Kayleen said communication is, definitely a lot of strength in supportive and some analytical, not so in the initiating and directive. Have you checked in on your communication? Are you supportive? Are you analytical? Are you an initiator? Are you direct? I encourage you to take a moment to have a look at what your communication style is, because it will help you in your life, but it will also help you understand other people. So what is said about your communication?